Well, I'll just state at the beginning that unlike newsreaders you probably had, I am wearing my pants under this desk. Although it's quite warm in this room here. Before I do the reading that I want to do to introduce Jack to you, I just want to first of all thank the Big Book Club. They've assured me I'm the first guinea pig on the virtual Skype address that we're doing today, so if there's a few hiccups from my end, it's because I'm staring into a camera and not into your eyes and faces, although it looks like I am. But I'd just like to start with a short reading to give you an idea of my book and of my protagonist, Jack Susko. So this is chapter 1 of The Black Russian. Jack was grateful, but it was not the kind of inheritance that changed your life. 20-year-old functional Japanese family sedans in light metallic blue had never been high on the list of all-time top 100 things you could possibly inherit. Even if it came with 4 sheepskin seat covers and an interior that smelled intensely of fruits of the forest, no matter how long you kept the window open. If he was a little disappointed with Aunt Eva's generosity at the end of the life, it was that the air conditioning did not work. And right now, the radio said it was 38 degrees Celsius in the city. Jack was on Oxford Street at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday, with traffic tight and stalled behind a broken down bus. And it had been a long day. And he was still hustling his weary trade in weary books. And he had not smoked a cigarette for nearly 17 and a half hours. To my dear nephew Jack, I leave my 1989 Toyota Camry. The air was thick with humidity, stained with exhaust fumes. Heat rippled off every surface, even the asphalt was sweating. Drivers blasted out a Morse code of frustration with their horns, and pedestrians fanned themselves with magazines that swung violently at the flies. Jack was meant to be at the group galleries in Woollahra an hour ago. November was nearly over. Hopefully he would get there before Christmas. The car was a surprise. Jack had not seen his aunt in many years, not since she used to look after him on the weekends when he was about 12 or 13. He remembered that her husband had already died by then and that she had a son called Carl. Jack used to read to her sometimes, crime novels and romance stuff, short stories out of magazines. Her eyes had gone, she said, but the truth was she liked to drink. She used to say, "Gentle this up for me, love," when she thought the ginger ale in the glass was out of proportion to the brandy. The lawyer told Jack she had died of liver failure. Still, he'd added, 86 ain't a bad time for it to happen. Aunt Eva was a Susko. With a bit of luck, alcohol tolerance was in the genes. Since giving up the tobacco, Jack had indulged a little. The traffic started to move again. Jack crawled up the hill and finally turned into Jersey Road. Finding a park in Woollahra was the equivalent of striking oil in a pot plant. He eventually wedged the Toyota into a spot down Spicer Street between an Arctic white BMW 7 Series and a shiny black Range Rover Sport. He hoped nobody rang the police to have the Toyota towed away as an abandoned car. Jack slung his bag over his shoulder and walked up to the main strip. The high-quality cotton of his pale blue shirt, the light, comfortable linen of his loose-fitting khaki drawstring pants, and his bare feet flip-flopping in a pair of brown Havaianas did nothing to keep him cool. No doubt the brokers knew the smart money that morning was in antiperspirant. The plane trees along Queen Street provided some relief. Beneath their expensive shade, people were shopping, people were shopping and drinking lemon-flavoured mineral waters, licking gelatos and walking their panting pooches. In sunglasses alone, there was about $1 million strolling around. And there seemed to be a particular way to wear them too, with an almost blank but faintly smug expression that said, and Jack was going to have to practice in the mirror when he got home. The group galleries was behind a large glass door and up a flight of polished timber stairs. He had to wait a moment as 2 yellow-vested couriers came down with a large canvas between them, sealed inside thick bubble wrap. He held the door open as the couriers grimaced and sweated and worked the angles so they could pass through. They looked hot and irritated. Jack did not envy their career choice. A stern voice from the top of the stairs. "Do you know what you're doing? That's worth a lot of money." And I'll leave it there before the adventure goes any further. There's a little bit of a tempter.